Shall I start now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir. Recording started.
Okay. Good evening. Today's session we're going to see the human reproductive system. Okay. So in our human reproductive system, we're going to discuss about two types of system. One is going to be male reproductive system and female reproductive system. And as the result of these two male sex organ and female sex organ, we also going to see the fertilization of zygote in the end of the session. Okay. So now we go into the session. The overview of this today reproductive system, we're going to discuss about what is reproductive system, then male reproductive system, then function of testis, spermatogenesis, structure of sperms. Then we're going to see about the female reproductive system, then function of ovary, then oogenesis, then menstrual cycle and fertilization. So when you compare with your female reproductive system, male reproductive system has a little bit functioning or little bit procedures or little bit work when compared to the female reproductive system, because female reproductive system going to produce the ovum, and that and they have a lot of cycles which is present in their body, which is not present in our male reproductive system. So they will be undergoing the till male reproductive system and female reproductive system will be going to the same. Then in male we're going to see about the function of testes, whereas female we're going to see about the function of ovary. And spermatogenesis, that means the formation of the sperm in male, and oogenesis, we're going to discuss about the formation of the egg or the ovum in female. And after that we're going to see the structure of the sperm, everything else. Whereas in female there is an extra cycle we call it as a menstrual cycle. The ovum which has been produced by the process of ovulation, how this ovum is going to be pushed out or going to be sent out from the uterus, that's process we call it as a menstrual cycle. And after that we're going to see about the fertilization. And not only the female reproductive system not only stops in fertilization, after that it's going to have gestation period by carrying the baby in the uterus. Till the delivery they will be having the process, whereas the female till ejaculation of the sperm, till that male going to play a major role in the reproductive system. Let's see, first we're going to see about the male reproductive system. Before that, what is reproductive system? Reproductive system ensures the continuation of the species. So from father, mother, we're going to have a child, and then child is going to be get in the puberty, again they're going to get married, or and then they're going to produce their offsprings. So in single well production of offsprings and taking up the life to their life cycle. Okay. So the main thing which plays a major role in the reproductive system is the gonads. So which is going to be a primary reproductive organ and which produce the gametes. So gonads for male, we're going to have testis is going to be your gonad, whereas for the female we're going to have the ovary as the gonad, and the gametes nothing but in male the testis is going to produce the sperm, whereas the female the ovary, not the ovum, the ovary which is going to produce the ovum, that's a gamete. The next point itself is being clear. A pair of testes produce the sperm in male, and a pair of ovaries produce ovum in the female. So testis is going to be a gonad, and ovary is going to be a gonad, and sperm is going to be our gametes, and ovum is going to be a gamete for the female. The most of the animals include human are either definite male or definite female. So most of the things which is going to be produced in male is going to be definite female, and it's going to be definite, or it's going to be definite female. In humans and most of the higher animals, reproduction occur sexually by mating. Okay, right. So now first we're going to see about the male reproductive system. So the organ of the male reproductive system is going to be specialized for the following functions, which are going to play a major role in the male reproductive system, is to produce, maintain and transport and protective the fluids. Okay. Next, another important function is to discharge the sperm with the female reproductive tract. And next one is going to produce and secrete the male sex hormone, or very important hormone which we have discussed in the endocrine system as well as exocrine system. The male sex hormone is going to be your testosterone, which is very important hormone, which is going to give all the male characteristics. The male reproductive anatomy includes two structures. One is going to be an external structure, other one is going to be our internal structure. The external structure of the male reproductive system is going to be include the penis, scrotum, and the testis. The external reproductive structure, in sense that the parts which we can able to see outside our body, it's called as external structures. Usually male, you can able to see the penis, the scrotum, which is just behind your penis, and the testis, which is present inside the scrotum. So these are the external structure of the male reproductive organ, where the internal structure of the male reproductive organ is going to be a vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, urethra, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland. So these are the things which is present inside your body, which can't able to see through which can able to see through naked eye, but which can't able to see just outside your body. So in the outside of the body, we can able to see the penis, the scrotum, and the testis. If you can touch the scrotum, we can able to feel the size or the testis which is present outside the body. Let me see these structures in detail. Right. First is going to be our external structure of a male reproductive organ. The first thing is going to be a penis, which is very important, which is going to be a cylindrical shape, and which is going to have a glands at the tip, which is made up of a special type of tissue called as foreskin tissue. This foreskin tissue, or the foreskin, which is very sensitive, and which can easily produce the orgasm sense, which can able to easily stimulate your sex feeling. And this penis going to play a major role by injecting into the vagina of the female, and it helps to ejaculate of the sperm by inserting the penis into the cervix vagina as well as the cervix opening, and ejaculate of the sperm, and help in the process of the fertilization. Okay, let me see what are the features which the penis is going to have the process. The penis is the male organ of the sexual intercourse. It has three parts. The first part is going to be a root. This is going to be a root part, and this is going to be a body of the penis, and the head of the penis we called as a glans. Okay, so this is called as the glans. We can able to see this glans has been connected to the urethra. Just below that, we can able to find that glans has been connected to the urethra. Okay, the glans, which is also called it as the head of the penis, and is covered with a loose layer of skin called as foreskin. So this skin, okay, in due to some religious thing, the foreskin, in some cases the foreskin is also be removed in some due to some religious things and all. The body of the penis is cylindrical in shape. It's going to be just like cylindrical in shape, and consists of three internal chambers. You can find out three internal chambers, in which this chamber is going to play a major role, which is called as a urethra. That's what we will call it as a urinogenital tract. So where urethra, you can here we going to eject your urine. You can pass your urine through this same tract. That's why we call as urethra. When we see the excretion system, after urinary bladder we're going to urethra. After urinary bladder it continues to urethra. These in male going to have a long urethra from the urinary bladder till the tip of the penis. Tip of the glans, we're going to have the urethra, and in this same urethral tract also the sperm is also going to be ejaculated. So where we're going to have the joints, everything we will be seeing later. Okay, the semen which contains the sperm is ejaculated through the end of the penis when a man reaches its sexual orgasm. The penis is erected. The flow of urine is blocked. That's very important. As soon as your penis has been get erected due to the sexual orgasm, what happened? That the urethra is going to be get blocked to the urine, and where your it paves the way for the semen or the sperm to we will call it as semen, not the sperm exactly. And paves the way for the semen to eject out from the penis through the urethra. Right, we'll just see the penis is ejected and the following of urine is blocked from the urethra and allowing only the semen to be ejaculated at the time of sexual intercourse, or not only the intercourse, if they have a sexual feeling, that's we call as orgasm, also they we can able to ejaculate out the semen. That's a very important thing where the size of the penis and length of the penis also plays a major role in the fertilization process. Okay. Next thing we're going to see about the scrotum. It's going to be a scrotum which is just, we can able to see just behind your penis. Okay, so we can find out a bag like structure or pouch like structure where your testis is going to be safeguarded by the scrotal layer or scrotal skin like projection, where your penis is going to be hang, and it's going to have a it plays a major role in the temperature control. Why? Because the sperms are very unicellular organisms. They are very unicellular organisms which can be withstand only at the room temperature. As the testis has been present external from the body, what happened? This testis will be exposure to the external temperature. So during the summer season, during the winter season, there will be a variation of the temperature externally. So the sperm cannot able to withstand either high temperature, or it cannot work with the there is a temperature variation, low temperature also. So this scrotum is going to be contract or relax based upon the temperature. It going to maintain the same body temperature in the testis, and it going to maintain the mortality of the sperm in the epididymis of the testis. Okay, let me see. The scrotum is the loose pouch-like sac of the skin that hang behind the penis. You can able to see in the diagram. This is going to be the penis. It is in the rest condition. It's not in erect condition. So what happened at the time? We can able to see the scrotum bag. This is going to be a scrotum. This is going to be a scrotum. Okay, right. It contains the testicles. Testicles is nothing but the plural of your testis is going to be a testis, or okay, testis. If the human has two number of testes, so it going with a singular is called as testicle, as well as many nerves and blood vessels are supplied to the testis. The scrotum has the protective function and act as the climate control system for the testis. This is very important. The normal sperm development, the testis must be at the temperature slightly cooler than the body temperature. Okay, it should be slightly either it can be equal to or slightly down of the body temperature, but the temperature has to be maintained. The special muscle in which the wall of the scrotum is made up of allows it to contract and relax. So what the main purpose of this contraction and relaxation of the scrotum is that if the external temperature is too low, what happen? Even the male can will be experience this situation during the climatic condition or very cool chill place. What happened? You can find out the contraction of the scrotum. The scrotum will contract and moves towards your body and touches your body to maintain the body temperature. When it's going to have a high temperature, then at the time it's going to get relaxed and it comes below the penis. The normal sperm development, the testis must be at a temperature slightly cooler than the body temperature. The special muscle where the scrotum allows to contract and relax. The moving of the testicles closer to the body for the warmth and protection, or further away from the body to cool the temperature. That's the main physiology of the scrotum, where we're going to be maintain the temperature. And as well as we can able to see the hydrocele, which is going to be protect your testis, and it will act as a shock absorber also in case if there is any direct force which is going to apply on testis will be taken by this hydrocele. In case of hydrocele disease, what happens? The accumulation of fluid will be more in this place, and the scrot, there you can able to see the enlargement of the scrotum. Right. Next, the important thing which going to make person, whether it's going to be male or female, is going to be your testicles. The testis or oval organ and is about a size of your olive. that lies in the scrotum. It's going to be present in the scrotum. The testes are covered by a tough membrane shell called as a tunica albinea. Okay, so tough membrane is, we'll call it as a tunica albinea. Okay, the men have two testes and are responsible for making the testosterone. That's a very male dominancing hormone. The primary male sex hormone, which is the primary male sex hormone, and helps in the production of your sperm. Okay, so within the testes are coiled mass. You can able to see the cross section of the testis. You can find out some coiled mass like tube-like structure. You can able to find it out, which is, we called it as a seminiferous tubule. These tubules are mainly lined in the layer of the cells that develops from the puberty till the old age of the person to produce the sperm. So this is called a seminiferous tubule. This is called a seminiferous tubule, where your sperm is going to be produced. That too, it's a immature form. The sperm which is produced by the seminiferous tubules is going to be an immature sperm. Okay, the developing sperm, what happened after developing the sperm or producing the sperm, it will be going towards the epididymis, which is present. This tube-like structure we call as epididymis, and from here it will be called as a vas deferens. Okay, duct of difference or vas deferens, where your sperm will be ejaculating out. So from the seminiferous tubule, the production of the sperm has been takes place, and these sperms will be stored. It's going to be stored in your epididymis layer. Here it's going to be stored. Okay, and the sperm here also is going to be your immature sperm, and during the time of ejaculation, your sperm is going to get mature. So developing the sperm travels through the seminiferous tubule to the reti testis located in the mediastinum testis. Okay, the efferent duct. This is going to be efferent duct. The efferent duct and the epididymis, where newly created sperm cells are mature. So the place where here you're going to see the epididymis duct acts as your epididymis. Okay, sorry, this is the efferent duct and the epididymis, where your sperm is going to get mature. So until then, your sperm, that means from the sperm produced from the seminiferous tubules, and it's going to pass through the reti testis. Here your sperm is going to be immature. The sperm moves into the vas deferens and then eventually expelled through the urethra. So here this is going to be a vas deferens, going to be start from here, and this goes to and covers the prostate gland and the bulbourethral gland, and then it will get joined through the urethra, and it comes out through urethra. Okay, right. Next is going to be epididymis. So this is a junction. What I said, the efferent duct. This is going to be efferent duct, and this is going to be epididymis, and this is going to be your the yellow color inside the testis. We call the seminiferous tubules, and this is called a reti testis. Okay, here the reti testis. So till here you're going to have the immature sperm, and after that, see the small dot which is moving. You can that's called that's a production of the sperm. These sperms are produced and it's moving out, and it comes out to the efferent duct and to the seminiferous tubule, and it gets stored in the sorry, not seminiferous tubules, epididymis, and the sperms is going to get stored in the epididymis, and during time of ejaculation, the sperm will be moving out to the epididymis and through the vas differentia, where your blood vessels have been supplying the enormous amount of blood during the time of sexual contract or during the time of your orgasm. Okay, epididymis. So epididymis is a long coiled tube. So this is going to be a long coiled tube that rests on the backside of your each testicles. Okay, it's going to rest at the backside of the each. The function is to carry and the storage of the sperm cells that are produced in the testis. That's the main function. The sperm undergo maturation process necessary for them to acquire the motility and the fertility. So motility and fertility, in sense, the sperm which has been secreted inside the testis is going to be your immature sperm, and it's immotile. Okay, what happened? Immotile in sense it doesn't have any movement. That means the tail part of the sperm won't be produced. As soon as the sperm reaches your epididymis, what happened? The tail has been produced, and from there it starts moving. It's moving out from the, with the help of the locomotion, with the help of the tail, it will start moving. That's called as motility. And also the immature sperm will be get matured in the epidermis, and it will become a fertile sperm. That's why it attains the fertility also. The sperm that emerges from the testes are immature and incapable of fertilization. So the sperm which comes out from the testes, that's very important. It's immature as well as incapable of fertilization. So epidermis secretes an intraluminal environment that suppresses the sperm motility until ejaculation. That's very important. Because it should not get, as soon as the sperm reaches your epidermis tubule, it should not get this motility, and it starts moving from the epidermis, and it should not ooze out from your petties. So what happened, it will remain then intraluminal environment. It's going to maintain an intraluminal environment and going to secrete some fluid until which your sperm will get the motility during the time of ejaculation only. So during the time of ejaculation, the sperm flows from the storage reservoir. So this is called, the epidermis is also called as the storage reservoir of the sperm, into the vas deferens, where they are propelled by a peristaltic action of muscle layer in the walls of the vas deferens, and are mixed with the diluting fluid. Okay, so what happened here, we're going to have a peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movements is, in sense, we're going to have a digital movement. That means there will be a contraction at a particular length of the tube. You're going to have a contraction, and particular length you're going to have a relaxation. That means just like your square wave, off on, just like that. You are each and all. That's why I said the beginning of your digestive system, during the time of that session, I used to say all the movements in our body is going to be a pulsating or a peristaltic. That pulsating movement we call it as peristaltic. Even the blood which flows in your blood vessels is going to be your peristaltic movement. Then the food which you're going to swallow is also going to be a peristaltic movement in the esophagus. Then the fecal matter which has been moving inside your large intestine, small intestine, is also going to be a peristaltic movement. Even the sperm which is going which is ejected out from the epidermis is also going to have a peristaltic movement. Right, till this we are discussed about the external structure of the male reproductive system. You can ask, where's the epidermis? We can't able to see that epidermis externally. No, if you're going to touch the testis, you can able to feel. You can see that foldings of the epidermis. If you touch that testis, you can able to realize the epidermis. Okay, right. Right, next topic we're going to see is the internal male reproductive organ. So what are the internal male reproductive organs? There are very important internal male reproductive organs. Is going to be your vas deferens. So this is going to be a testis, and from the testis we are having seminiferous tubule. Inside the testis is going to be a seminiferous tubule, and this is going to be your epidermis, and from epidermis we're going to have a vas deferens. This is going to be a vas deferens. Okay, I'm searching for the name. Where is that vas deferens? They didn't mention. Duct, anus, rectum, ureter, bladder. Okay, so this is going to be a vas deferens, and what happened? This is going to be folded, and this is going to be a urinary bladder. Okay, this is going to be a urinary bladder, and it comes here. Here we're going to have a seminal vesicles, which is going to produce the semen. That's very important. A lot of fluids has been secreted. Semen has been secreted in many different areas, as well as a prostate gland. This is a prostate gland which also helps in the production of your fluid, mucus like fluid, which we call as semen, where your semen will be mixed with your sperm, and it will decreases the friction, and it helps in the ejaculation of the sperm to swim faster. Then after that, here we're going to have a prostate gland, and here is going to be your ejaculatory duct. Here is going to be ejaculatory duct, where your urethra, you can able to see that your urethra and the ejaculatory duct is going to join. This is a place near the prostate gland. Your urethra as well as the ejaculatory duct going to get joined, and we're going to have a common urethra for both urine as well as semen ejaculation. Okay, so here you're going to have the junction between these two ejaculated duct and the urethra, which going to comes out through the penis. Okay, and we also going to have the bulbourethral gland, which is also presented here, which I show in the next diagram. Okay, so in the side view we can't able to see that clearly. Okay, so first we're going to see the vas deferens. So vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from the pelvic girdle bone is present. We call this as a pelvic cavity to just behind the bladder. So see the vas deferens, what I said, from here is going and it's going behind your bladder. This is going to be urinary bladder, it's going just behind your bladder, and this is going to ureter comes from the kidney and get opens into your urinary bladder. Okay, the vas deferens transport the matured sperm to the urethra in preparation for the ejaculation. So once the sperm reaches your vas deferens, then it will be a mature fertile sperm which passes through your vas deferentia and will get ejaculated through the penis. Next, ejaculatory duct. So this is going to be your ejaculatory duct. Okay, so this one is going to be your ejaculatory duct, formed by the fusion of the vas deferentia and the seminal vesicle. So this ejaculatory duct, how is it been formed in sense? In this means your vas deferentia as well as the seminal vesicles get joined. Why? Because the vas deferentia, the sperm will be traveling through vas deferentia, and these sperms will get mixed with our seminal vesicle, seminal fluid, which is called as semen, secreted by the seminal vesicle, and these both get mixed up, and it comes out as a semen through your seminal vesicle and enters the ejaculatory duct. So this ejaculatory duct helps during the time of ejaculation. The erection of the penis will be takes place, and this ejaculated duct will be forcefully ejaculating the semen out through your urethra through penis. Okay, the ejaculatory duct empties into the urethra. So the ejaculatory duct will be empties into the urethra. This is a place where the both are going to take the junction. Next is going to be urethra. So urethra is a tube that carries the urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. In male, what happens is a special condition in the male. It has an additional function of expelling the semen when the man reaches the sexual temptation or the orgasm. The penis is erect during the sex. The flow of urine is blocked from the urethra and allowing only the semen to ejaculate from the ejaculate through the penis at the time of sexual stimulus. That's very important. Okay, so what happened? What happened? It blocks, mainly your urethra plays a major role. It blocks the urine. What happened here? It going to blocks the urine during the time of sexual intercourse, and it going to ejaculate only the semen out through your penis. Next, seminal vesicle. In this diagram you can be able to see clearly. So see, this is going to be your epidermis, and from there you can be able to find out the this is going to be a vas deferens. Okay, so here we can be able to find out the vas deferens, right? Epidermis and the testis, right? Okay, so this is going to be your seminal vesicle, where your vas deferens and the seminal vesicles get open. This is going to be your seminal vesicle, and this seminal vesicle will open with your ejaculatory duct, and this ejaculatory duct is guided by your prostate gland, and we're going to have a small pea-like structure. Pea-like in sense, patani solvanga Tamil, that's called as pea-shaped like structure, which is present on either side of your urethra. We call it as a bulb. It's just like a bulb-like structure. So bulbourethral, urethra is there, no? Bulbourethral gland. This is also going to secrete some mucus fluid. Okay, so in the cross section of this is going to look like this, and this is the view of your seminal vesicle. This is going to be right side and going to be left side. Okay, the seminal vesicle are sac-like pouches that attach to the vas deferens near the base of your bladder. This is going to be your base of your urinary bladder. the seminal vesicle produces a fructose that provides the sperm with a source of energy and helps within the sperm's mortality. What happened? The sperm will utilize its original, just like propeller, or just like a rocket, where they're going to be launched. We have a lot of propeller in the rocket. What happened, these propeller will be get detached, and we're going to have a main propeller into the rocket. After moving out of the earth, it has to reach the particular target. At that time, that fuel will be using as the energy for the movement of the rocket, just like that. So the sperm cannot, mostly sperm won't use its own energy till it's ejaculating out from the penis. What happens, as soon as it enter into the vaginal cavity or enter into the cervix of the uterus, then only the sperm start using its own energy. So till then, it will get nourished. The sperm will be get nourished with a lot of energy and nutrient, and the movement also will be taking place with the help of the semen. That's what the semen has been producing. This semen, due to the ejaculation force, the semen with a lot of millions of sperms in that one drop of semen will be pushing out into the urethra. So as soon as the sperm reaches the cervical cavity of the uterus, from that time onwards, it's going to use its own energy for the fertilization with the egg. Okay. The produce a fructose, actually the glucose, the type of glucose is going to be fructose, that provides the sperm with the source of energy and helps in the sperm's mortality. Okay, next going to be the fluid of the seminal vesicle makes up the most of the volume of the man's ejaculatory fluid, or the ejaculate. Okay, that's what the fluid seminal vesicle used to the semen, which we call as the semen. Next is going to be your prostate gland. Okay, the prostate gland is a walnut-sized structure that is located below your urinary bladder in front of the rectum. So as you see in the dorsal view of this diagram, we can able to see the rectum. That means the continuation of the large intestine, the colon, and the rectum, where your fecal matter. Then it ends with anus. Okay, the prostate gland contribute the additional fluid to the ejaculate. Again, the prostate gland going to secrete some kind of mucus fluid for the ejaculation process. The prostate fluid also helps to nourish the sperm. That's very important. The urethra, which carries the ejaculate to be expelled during the orgasm, runs through the center of the prostate gland. So here, so here's the gland which is beside both of them. Here is going to be the urethra, where it runs the center of your prostate gland. Okay. Next, we're going to discuss about the bulbourethral gland. So this gland, the small P-shaped gland, which is also called as the Cowper gland. Okay, the bulbourethral gland is also called as the Cowper gland, a pea-sized structure located on the beside of the urethra, just below the prostate gland. The gland produces a clear, slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra. That's a very important thing what the gland is going to do. Why? Because here some fluids has been secreted and helps in the mortality, and also it has been nourished the sperm with the help of the fructose, and the fluid makes the movement of the sperm from here to here. And again, what happened here, the prostate gland going to secrete some fluid which helps in the mortality of the sperm. And when reaches here, again your glands, which is called the bulbourethral gland, also going to secrete some semen or secrete some fluid which is helps in the lubrication of the which helps in the lubrication of the semen and the sperm to moving out through the urethra. And another important thing is where your bulbourethral gland plays a major role is that it neutralizes the acid here. How this acid has been secreted, or how this acid has been presented here, in sense the uric acid, when you're passing the urine, because here will start your urethra, so it's a urinogenital tract. What happens when we pass urine, some drops of urine might be stuck up in the urethra. This urine has to be, it's acid, and it has to be neutralized. Okay, this urine has to be neutralized by a base secreted by your bulbourethral gland. That's a very important. Why? Because if the acid is present, the sperm or the semen which mix up this uric acid, what happened? The sperms might die, and even though if the sperm is ejected into the female reproductive tract, there is no use, because there won't be any fertilization, and for that purpose only this bulbourethral gland plays a major role in the neutralizing of your acid or the uric acid which has been present in the urethra. Wait, let's see. And the gland produces a clear slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra. The fluid serves to lubricate the urethra and to neutralize any acidity that may be present due to the residual drops, as of course the good word, the residual drops of urine in the urethra, right? So till this we have seen the both external structure and the internal structures. The internal structure of the male reproductive organ is also called as accessory organ. Okay, accessory parts are accessory organ. Now we're going to concentrate on the seminiferous tubule. So we have discussed when see the cross section of the testis, we have find some lot of tubules which is present in the testis, which we call it as a seminiferous tubule. The seminiferous tubules are thread-like convoluted tubule structures which produces the spermatozoa or the immotile or immature sperm. There are about 400 to 600 seminiferous tubules in each testis. So these seminiferous tubules are going to secrete the sperm after reaching the puberty of the person. The wall of the seminiferous tubules is formed by 3 layers: the outer capsule or the tunica purpura, then thin homogeneous basement membrane, then the complex satisfied epithelium, which consists of 2 types of cells. This is very important. Okay, so you can able to see the inner cell, inner layer, which you call as a complex stratified epithelium. Complex satisfied epithelium. So this is going to be plays a major role, and this is going to have 2 types of cell. One is going to be called as germ cell, and other one is going to be called as a Sertoli cells. The germ cells is also called as a spermatogenic cell, and the Sertoli cells is also called as a supporting cell. First we see about the germ cell, what it has main role of the spermatogenetic or the germ cell. This is the precursor cell of the spermatozoa. So spermatozoa is nothing but the sperm, and this is going to be the precursor where it helps in the production of the sperm. This cell lies in between the Sertoli cells and are arranged in an orderly manner in 4 to 8 layers. In children, the testis is not fully developed. The spermatogenic cells are in the primitive stage called as spermatogonia. Okay, so in children is going to be in the spermatogonia. Once the person is attained its puberty, this spermatogonia develop into sperms through a different stages. That's very important. That process of converting the spermatogonia into immature sperm is called as a not only immature sperm, till the matured sperm. The process of converting your spermatogonia into matured sperm is called as a spermatogenesis. That process we call it as a spermatogenesis. So this Sertoli, not Sertoli, the germ cells which used in the which will present in the children itself, where your spermatogonia will be present. Okay, that stage we call it the primitive stage of that we call it as a spermatogenesis cell, we call it as a spermatogonia, or the germ cell we call it as a spermatogonia. Once the male will attain the puberty, this spermatogonia will be developed into an active sperm. Okay, next is Sertoli cells. So this is going to be a spermatogenesis in the process by which the male gametes called as spermatozoa, that means a sperm, are formed from the primitive spermatogenic cell in the testis. So these 2 cells, which is called as a germ cell as well as the Sertoli cells or the supporting cells, which helps in the production of your sperm cells and helps in the production of a fertile sperm cell, which we call as a spermatogenesis. Okay, so these two are equally very important, but one specific thing in germ cell is that these spermatogenic cell will be present in children, and it produces the spermatogonia, which is a precursor of your spermatogenesis or the spermatogenic cell. Okay, next up, the function of testis, very important thing. What your testis is going to do, the main function of your testis. The gametogenic function, first function, there are two functions going to be taken care by your testis. One is going to be a gametogenic function, and other one is going to be endocrine function, which we already know. The gametogenic function is that the spermatogenesis, the process of converting your spermatogonia, that means your which we seen last previous slide, the spermatogonia into an active, fertile, and super sperm. Okay, that process is called as spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process by which the male gametes called as spermatozoa, that means sperm, formed from the primitive spermatogenetic cell or the germ cell in the testis. So that's only this gametogenic function. So the converting of your or the what we tell, in other words, the process to take care of the spermatogenesis process, the spermatogenic function takes place by your testis. Next thing, endocrine function. The testis secretes male sex hormone, which are collectively called as a androgen. Okay, the principal androgen are the testosterone and androsterenoid, where the female sex hormone, namely estrogen and progesterone, is also found in the testis. That's what during the time of your exocrine session, where we're discussing about the pituitary gland, at the time I used to tell that even though the male hormone, testosterone, androgen, there are a little bit secretion of your estrogen as a progesterone. That's what the male will be having a little bit feminine character, as well as same vice versa for the female too. Right, in the diagram you can able to see. Okay, the stimulus, the stimulus, every regulating thing will be taking care of your hypothalamus. Okay, so whatever stimulus to the hypothalamus, from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, based upon the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone, will act on the testis and helps in the production of your testosterone and other androgen hormone, which increase in the level of testosterone in the blood and increase in the level of the androgen or the inhibin B in the blood. Then what happens if there is excess amount of secretion? There are going to be a negative feedback loop to the hypothalamus to stop the secretion. Same like, okay, going to give the secretion to the either to the pituitary gland or to the hypothalamus to stop the excess secretion. If it is if the secretion is very less, it will be initiated by the pituitary gland to excess secretion of the hormone. So this is the main function of your testis, where it's going to take care of your function of your testis. Okay, yeah. Next, we're going to see the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, the process. Spermatogenesis is nothing but the process by which your male gamete called as spermatozoa or the sperm are formed from the primitive spermatogenic cell in the testis. Okay, it takes, during the time of puberty, it takes around 74 days for the formation of a sperm from a primitive germ cell or a spermatogenic cell. It takes around 74 days. Though this process, spermatogenic cell have a cytoplasmic attachment with the Sertoli cells. This Sertoli cell supplies all necessary material, nutrients to the spermatogenesis process through the cytoplasmic attachment. Okay. Next, the spermatogenesis. The process of spermatogenesis is going to have 4 phases or the 4 stages. First one is going to be a stage of proliferation. Next is stage of growth. Next is the stage of maturation, and last one is going to stage of transformation. So these are the 4 stages where how your sperms is going to be secreted from in the testes by your seminiferous tubule. Let me see these stages. The first stage is the stage of first stage. What happened? Each spermatogonium contains the diploid number of chromosome. That's very important. So we will going to take this as a spermatogonium cell. Okay, this is going to be a spermatogonium where the two end. Yeah, in our human body we have around 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so 23 pairs in sense 46 pair of chromosomes. Each and every chromosome going to have all the genetic content of your parent, especially your father and the mother, and it also has the content of your ancestors also. Okay, so it's going to be 23 pairs. 2 into 23 is going to be 46 chromosomes. Okay, in which the last pair of chromosomes, that means the 46th chromosome or the 23rd pair chromosome, we call as a 6 chromosome. Okay, so this correct 6 chromosome, especially in male, it's going to have X chromosome and Y chromosome. So male plays a major role. The male sex organ, the male chromosomes plays a major role to decide whether the fetus is going to be a male or female. Okay, so male alone has the authority to take the decision whether it's going to be a male fetus or it's going to be a female fetus. Okay, so what happened? These 23 pairs of chromosomes, which going to have the last pair is going to be 6 chromosomes, we called as a allosomes, and the remaining 22 pairs of chromosome we called as autosomes. So we're going to have autosomes and allosomes. Right, next, the 23 pairs includes the 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of a 6 chromosome, which is called as allosomes. The 6 chromosomes are 1 X chromosome and 1 is Y chromosome. Around the 23rd pair, that means the 45 and 46. Okay, the 45 is going to be X chromosome and 46 is going to be your Y chromosome. During the proliferative stage, in this stage, the spermatogonia divided by mitosis. So you have to remember that process. So this is going to be mitosis. Here it's going to be take mitosis. Mitosis in sense, this cell, this spermatogonia is going to be divided into 2 primary spermatocytes with the same number of chromosome, 2n chromosome. That means here you're going to have 23 pair chromosome. Here also going to have 23 pair of chromosome. That cell division we call it as a mitosis. Okay, this is going to be resembling, is going to be same as your parent chromosome. During the polyphenoid stage, the spermatogonia divided by the mitosis without any change in the chromosomal number. The last generation enters the stage of growth as the primary spermatocyte. So what happened? This we call as a primary spermatocyte. In this stage, the spermatogonia migrates along with the Sertoli cells. What happened? Here, your Sertoli cells is going to play a major role here. It migrate along with the Sertoli cells towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So lumen, in sense, there is a central cavity of the in the seminiferous tubule. After secreted, the active sperm will be going into that lumen and reaches your epidermis. Okay. Oh, sorry. Right. Oh, okay. Enter towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubules. This is going to be a first stage, which is called as a stage of proliferative stage or stage of proliferation. The next stage is going to be stage of growth. What happens? Here, the primary spermatocyte. In this stage, the primary spermatocyte is grow into larger size. It's going to get grower. Apart from the growth, there is no other changes in the spermatocyte during this growth stage. Sure. In this stage, what happens? Your primary spermatocyte is going to get grow. That's all. Now, after growth attains its fulfillment, what happens? Going to get mature. That's very important. The third stage is going to be your maturation stage. After reaching the full size, as I said, each primary spermatocyte quickly undergoes now it's going to be a mitotic division. So before we see the before we see this mitotic division, here is going to be meiotic division. Okay, so the first, where your original parent cell is going to be divided into 2 equal number of chromosomes, then we call it as the mitosis process, and here we are going to take 2 meiosis process in 2 phases. Okay, or we call it as undergoes meiotic or the maturation division, which occurs in 2 phases. One is going to be a first phase. where your first meiosis going to be takes place. What happened? This primary spermatocyte is going to be divided into that means your 2n, that means your 23 pairs, that is your 46 chromosome. Now it's going to be divided into 23 chromosomes. Okay, so what happened? Your during the meiosis 1 process, it going to be divided into 23 into 23. Okay, so this 23 chromosome, one might have where your crossing over of chromosomes will be taking place, and the content will be exchanged between these two chromosomes, and then it is called as a secondary spermatocyte. Each primary spermatocyte divided into two secondary spermatocyte. The significance of the first meiotic division is that each secondary spermatocyte receives only an haploid or of the number of chromosomes, where the 23 chromosome includes 22 autosomes and one sex chromosome or the allosome. It might be a X chromosome or Y chromosome. Either of these going to have X or Y. Okay, now what going to happen again? This secondary spermatocyte is going to be undergo another meiosis 2 and going to produce a spermatid. That going to be called as a phase 2 process. So what happened in the phase 2? Each secondary spermatocyte undergoes a secondary meiotic division, resulting in two smaller cells called as spermatid. Each spermatid has haploid number of chromosome. So each and every spermatid going to have 23, 23, 23, 23, in which one going to be X, another one going to be Y, one going to be Y, another going to be X, or these two are going to be X and these two may be Y. So these are the probability of having your X or Y, the sex chromosomes. Okay. Next is going to be a last stage of transformation. So what happened? From this spermatid, we're going to produce the spermatozoa, which is going to be your immature spermatozoa. As soon as it reaches your vesicle, it moves towards your epididymis and it will be getting mature. Okay, so this spermatogenesis, here the spermatogenesis will take place and it will produce a spermatozoa. There is no further division. That's all. The division has been stopped, and there is no further division has been takes place. The spermatids are transformed. These called as spermatids. Okay, each sperm, these spermatids going to convert into spermatozoa, is matured into spermatozoa by means of a spermatogenesis and released by a spermination. What happened? This spermatid is going to convert into spermatozoa with a head, body and tail structures, where your all genetic content will be present in the nucleus of your sperm. Okay. The spermatogenesis is the process by which a spermatid become matured spermatozoa. That is called as a spermatogenesis. Okay. The changing takes place during the spermatogenesis is the condensation of the nuclear material. That's, as I said, the condensation of nuclear material will be taking place. Formation of acrosomes, mitochondria spiral filament and the tail structure. In the previous I told that from the spermatid going to have a spermatozoa sperm which is going to have a head, body and the tail, where head which is going to have the nuclear content as well as the acrosome at the top of the head of the sperm, the body which is going to have the mitochondria spiral filaments, and the tail structure which is used for the locomotion. And the mitochondria, we know that we have studied mitochondria is called as the power of the cell, which is going to give the enormous amount of energy for the cell. Likewise, in the sperm also, these mitochondria are going to play a major role for nourishing the sperm cells when it's going to travel in your cervical inside the uterus to reach the egg for the fertilization. Next, the removal of extraneous cytoplasm. So these are three changes which is taking place in the spermatogenesis. Then spermination. Spermination is a process by which the matured sperm are released from the Sertoli cells into the lumen of the seminiferous tubules into the into the epididymis. Okay. So here we can able to see that animation video. You can able to see this is going to be your first. This is going to be your Sertoli cells, where your cells is produced. What happened? This cell is going to be mitotic division. Here it's going to be producing the mitotic process has been taking place, and it's going to be divided into two. You can see, we can watch 2 and then 4. So here it's going to have, till here it's going to have 23 pair, and now it's going to be 23, 23, 23, 23, and finally it's going to produce this one. This one is going to be your spermatid, and the active sperms are produced, and these sperms will be moving to the lumen. So this is the outer layer of the seminiferous tubule, and this is going to be a lumen or the canal inside the center of your seminiferous tubule. See, your cells is producing the first mitotic division is taking place, and then meiosis 1, 2 cells will produce, then meiosis 2, 4 cells are produced. These 4 cells, see, these 4 cells are get attached. See, the 4 sperms are attached, then finally it will become active sperm, which moves towards your canal of your seminiferous tubules and reaches the epidermis. Right. Next is going to be a structure of sperm. Okay. The structure of sperm has the 4 main parts. One is going to be a head, neck, body, and tail. Okay. One is going to be a head, neck, this is going to neck, body, and tail. The usually head, midpiece, and tail. Head. The head of the sperm is oval in shape with a length of 3 to 5 micron and width is up to 3 microns. The anterior portion of the head is thin. The head is covered by a thin cell membrane, and it is formed by a condensed nucleus within the cytoplasm. The anterior 2/3 of the head is called as the acrosomes. So here the yellow color, which we call as the acrosome, it's a very important one during the time of fertilization. Okay, this acrosome going to disintegrate the wall of your ovum and pushes all the genetic content inside the sperm into the ovum, where you are fusing of your genetic content of your sperm as well as the ovum going to takes place, and formation of the egg will be, or zygote will be takes place. Acrosome. Acrosome is a thick cap like anterior part of the sperm head developed from the Golgi apparatus, and it is made up of a mycopolysaccharide and the acid phosphatase. The acrosome also contains the hydrogenase and proteolytic enzyme, which are essential for the sperm to fertilize the ovum. That's a very important physiology of the acrosome. The next is going to be a neck region. The head is connected to the body by a short stalk called as a neck. The anterior is formed by a thick disc-shaped anterior end knob. The posterior end is formed by another similar structure known as a posterior end knob. Then it gives rise to an axial filament of the body. The neck and the body's sperm are together called as a midpiece, as I said. Okay. Next, we're going to see the body. The body is cylindrical with a length of 5 to 9 microns and the thickness is of 1 micron. Which one? The body. This is going to be the body. It's going to be the thickness and the size of the body. The body of the sperm consists of a central core. Okay, going to have a central core, and the axial filament covers by a thin cytoplasmic capsule. The axial filament starts from the posterior end knob to the neck, passes through the body, and properate disc called as the end disc. Okay, the axial filament reaches the tile as the tile threads. The axial filament, the central canal, will be moving towards till the tip of the tile will extend in the tile. You can able to find the proximal centriole, where this is going to be a mitochondria spirals, which is used to give the energy for the sperm. The axial filament is surrounded by a closely wound spiral filament consisting of your mitochondria, which is going to be your energy source. Next, the tail. The tail of the sperm consists of 2 segments. One is going to be your chief piece, and other one is going to be terminal piece, or it's also called as the main piece or the end piece. The tail, it is enclosed by the cytoplasmic capsule, and as an axial threads, it is about 40 to 50 microns long. Next, the terminal end piece, it has only the axial filament. So you can able to see this in the diagram, the animated diagram. You can able to see the tail. See the this is actually, it's moving in the fallopian tube. Here we're going to have some hair projections in the. This is a scene which has been done. It just takes place in the fallopian. See, all the sperms has been rushing out till the male reproductive organ, till that glands of the penis. It going to mix with the semen. As soon as enter into your uterus, all the sperms will be rushing to reach the ovum. So the tail will be circulating in the centrifugal force, which is going to be moving in the centrifugal direction, and the sperm will be moving in the forward direction, and everything, there is a race between these sperms who will be going to reach the ovum first, and they reach the goal. That means the fertilization with the ovum, right? Okay, so till this we have seen the male reproductive system. I think the time constant, it has been gone beyond 1.5 hours. I think so, not 1.5 hours, 1.1 hour 15 minutes. So we will see the female reproductive system by tomorrow. I think I can stop here, because if I start the female reproductive system, then if I start in the middle, it will be getting confused. Athina sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here, sir.
Yeah, I'll be continuing the female reproductive system by tomorrow, sir.
Yeah.
We'll meet
Sure, sir.
tomorrow.
Sure, sir. Actually, the session is free for you. If you have a time, then you proceed at 4 o'clock, or else you can.
Yeah, I will continue.
Tomorrow I'm talking about tomorrow, sir. We
Tomorrow,
have
sure.
Because tomorrow most of the classes is got over.
Okay.
Whichever the time you can, it may be your flexibility.
Oh, tomorrow timing. So tomorrow evening we can have by this time?
Yeah, sure. 7 o'clock we will start, sir. No problem.
Okay. Tomorrow 7 o'clock. Even though I will confirm you by tomorrow, I will confirm you through WhatsApp also, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. I'm waiting.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.